Hey everybody, Cal here. Welcome back to episode 10 of the Necromancers Let's Play of Total War Warhammer. Just recapping where we left off last time. We had a big old battle with all the armies of the Empire here in just outside Wurtbad. We got beat up pretty bad, but the Empire got it worse. So back in Western Sylvania, we have Heinrich starting to build back up an army of higher tier undead. We have a whole bunch of buffs colluding to make that happen for us. We had sent Helmengorst out westward to try to take out Feldorf. Maybe somebody knows their German better, can help me out here with pronunciation. And then we have Gustav here on the just outside the moot. Who I believe I'm going to want to send up to Wurtbad while it's undefended, because looking at the garrison, it does not look particularly threatening. Gustav's army is pretty beat up at the moment, but we can raise some undead enough to round out his army, and I think that'll be enough to take out an undefended Wurtbad in a couple turns. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead, pop him back into regular stance, walk just as far as we, what would be the normal path we would take. Okay, so go along the path we would take to go there, right? And at 50% movement, go into raiding stance. So that will make us a little bit of money, and we should be close enough that next turn, forgot to recruit. It's fine. We can grab that extra spearman and maybe some extra on the way in. I don't think this is going to be a problem. This is a pretty weak garrison, unless he pulls a rabbit out of his hat. That's gonna fall next turn. Now we are also gearing up to do some more construction. I also noticed that we still have this charnel pit sitting here in Castle Drakenhof, which is a bit of a waste. We're still 4 turns out, and I believe the buildings that we're interested in, which would be the Ancient Armory and the Defiled Cairn, take a little longer than that to build. But I think the Defiled Cairn specifically is something we're looking at building up. The only problem is that next turn, Rickard is going to have us doing stuff in Western Sylvania. He's going to help us out with building up Fort Oberstyre and Schwarzhafen, and then after that, hopefully we'll have enough money to come back to Castle Drakenhof. We'll kick out the Charnel Pit next turn and get started there. We have 1 turn left on our Risen Standard Bearers, which is leadership +5 for all skeletal units. I believe that includes the Grave Guard, Black Knights, skeletons, and maybe zombies. I'm not sure. I'm also kind of tempted by the Defile of Ancient Barrows, but I think getting the fully buffed up Graveguard and Black Knights seems more attractive at the current time. So yeah, with that, I believe. Also, I think we're going to keep on working on our friendliness with Zufbar. We have the money to keep it going. Might as well. We're making back about that much every 2 turns, so it's sort of net neutral right now, and I don't really want to fight. I don't really want to fight dwarves on this front at the moment. And we have Karakadrin over here, who, interestingly, it looks like, I was checking out the diplomacy between the episodes here. They're at war with Ostermark. So hopefully that will keep the 2 of them occupied while we go out the Empire here. And if we manage to take Wurtbad and Feldorf, then the Empire is going to be pushed back all the way to Nuln, right off our campaign vision, which will free us up, give us a bit of room to expand and just not have them breathing down our necks all the time like they have been the past few turns. With that, we're going to go ahead and end the turn. And yeah, Also, I was looking at Averland here. They don't hate us. They like the fact that we're against the Empire. They like the fact that we fought the von Karsteins, who are still on the map. They don't have any regions, but Vlad still has a tiny little army that's slowly decaying away, and apparently a hero down here. But I don't foresee him as a serious threat at this point. We just have to keep paying attention. These beastmen here, I believe they're heading up towards Karak Kadrin, so I'm not going to step on them like a bug here, even though I don't like having beastmen raiding in my lands, obviously, but they're going to attack my, not enemies at the moment, but future enemies. I mean, Karak Kadrin will come back and try to kill us later. So that sounds good. Technology research, which I'm pleased with. Foreign trespasser and attrition from Helm and Course, both the things that I knew about. So, if we're lucky, we're in range here, and we can send Helm and Gorst in. And I don't think that, I mean, it says that they have some sort of chance here, but this doesn't seem like a terribly interesting battle to be fighting. I don't think anybody wants to see this, so we're just going to auto-resolve it. Helm, of course, doesn't have any interesting abilities yet, or interesting weapons to show off. His army is all low-tiered zombies and garbage. Easier to just take this. Now, I don't know that we necessarily want to try to occupy this. We mostly just want to hurt it. So I think we need money this turn because we're going to start building. So I'm going to start off with a sack, I think. You know what? Actually, we're going to loot and occupy it, and then we're just going to let whatever the rebellion is that forms here, we'll just let them take it. Because in the interim, oh, that is tempting though. Another resource to be had. Well, it's only 600, and we did just loot it, which is going to make the... You know what? No, I'm talking myself in circles here. We're going to just leave it unupgraded, and... yes, so this is another benefit, but I think we're going to go with Master of the Dead first, although he's doing a lot of raising to undead, so that might be something to go for first. So his army is healing back up. We're going to go ahead and 2x2 merge these zombies. And then, if we're lucky, we got within range of Wurtbad. We did.
Destroy them. Drag them to our necrotic embrace.
Okay, so this seems pretty even, like I said. So we're gonna go for battering ram and a couple of siege towers. So hopefully,
kill them, raise them.
If we're lucky, we'll be able to get some help up to him in a couple turns, or at worst, the Empire will not be ready to attack him until all of that siege equipment is built. If they are, then we can push off, and it's not the end of the world for us. I mean, we did push forward over here, but I think what we're going to be trying to do next turn is, oh my goodness, we have Black Knights to be had here. That's quite a good. Only 23. Oh wait, I'm not exactly sure how this ancient or this famous battle site mechanic works. It seems to be a little different from how it worked before. I might go read the patch notes because I'm not really sure how that's working right now. It seems that the longer you leave it, the more troops build up to be recruited. So back in Western Sylvania, we're going to have Harkon start reducing build costs, and yes, now we can upgrade Fort Oberstyre, which is our main interest here. The Wretched Farmstead is a good overall building, and we can afford another corpse pile. We would like to upgrade. We would like to upgrade this building chain here as well, but it's more important, I think, to do that in Eastern Sylvania than Western. So we're going to go ahead and kick out this charnel pit, because our plan is that next turn,
Do you need fresh troops?
Rickert is going to go pop across the border, do the same thing, and we should have enough money built up by then to start building another defiled cairn in eastern Sylvania. Now while we're waiting on that, we can have Kemmler start recruiting, and Kemmler will recruit. Those Graveguard are very tempting, but I only have so much money. So we're going to. I don't really want to fill up his army with zombies, but I only want to spend so much money this turn. So we're gonna start with a couple zombie units, and what else is relatively cheap? Actually, we buffed up our skeleton spearmen, so maybe we should go with 1, 2, 3, 4 skeleton spearmen. That will put us. I think we'll have enough money still next turn to continue, because I don't want to slow the momentum here with Kemmler's army. Although we could use some number of zombies. So we might as well get higher tier zombies. And one more unit of zombies. That'll be good. A good start. Start off with the cheap units, because we're not under immediate threat, unless these beastmen decide to do something suicidal. I think we'll be okay. All right. I believe that's everything for this turn, unless we would like to move. Yeah, we probably want to move Sasha either up to scout. I mean, it would be nice to get some vision on what's happening in Nuln. Empire doesn't seem to be doing anything up there yet. So, yeah, there doesn't seem to be any movement from the Empire. They must be way back up here. And I believe that's the turn. The Empire just has heroes running around now, trying desperately to defend what they were holding on to. They were quite threatening 2 turns ago, but less so with no armies here. So be warned. Don't clump up all your armies in one place, because then if somebody's paying attention, they can crush it. Oh. Okay. Dwarves just wandering through my land. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. As long as they're not attacking me, I am okay. The beastmen are gonna go up and attack the dwarves, or they're just gonna stand there and look at them. They're just gonna stand there and look at them. Okay. Well, my enemies are all fighting each other. Don't approve of the raiding here, but what can you do? So our construction is progressing nicely in Western Sylvania. I don't think we're going to upgrade Schwarzhofen just yet. It doesn't seem under threat of immediate attack unless Vlad is lurking like exactly here, which I don't think is the case. We're going to pop Rickert across the border here.
Move. I foresee great moves.
And we were going to build a Sinister Copse, although no, that's not what we're going to build. We're going to build a Defiled Cairn because we want to get it up to a Lodestone of Darkness. So we will start off there. That does mean we're going to need another recruitment building, but we're turns and turns away from that. Now, while Rickert is here, we may as well build something up in Waldenhof. I would like to get Castle Drakenhof to level 5. So what we might do is we might just throw a charnel pit in there. It's nice and cheap, 600, and it'll overall help. Now, as you see, we did recruit quite a few more units, and our income didn't go down all that much because, as you see, this whole army only costs 1,000 to maintain every turn. Oh, I should really put the Glittering Spigales, which we lost and then recaptured, back onto the Lichmaster because. So I didn't go into this before, but I really like putting the Glittering Scales on caster lords or caster heroes because it reduces the melee attack of those around them. Now they're not normally in combat, but I find that the reduced melee attack. I mean, generally your lords you want to buff up attack your melee lords because they're going to be on the pushing front, whereas your caster lords are going to be sort of shoring up the back lines of places where you're trying to defend. So I really like this. It's a very good sort of aura ability, and it stacks nicely with the regen aura that he has already from being the Lichmaster. We're going to give him the Rampager's Standard and the Black Cat, because otherwise they're doing nothing. And Helming Gorst gained a level between there. Good, good. And we said we were going to probably send him up the blue line. So I think Ancient Cunning is the best thing in the first tier. As I recall, the good things were in the second tier. So we're gonna go for Ancient Cunning, and we're gonna turn Gorst into sort of an administrator lord. And we would like to have some help up in Wurtbad, so we're gonna have him march straight up out of here. And if we force march, we can get across the border as well, and surely be in range next turn. This is quite a powerful army, actually, from Kurt here. If he turns around and tries to smack us, that will be unfortunate, but I don't think he will. I think
I'll hear words from that unliving throat.
I mean, they might give us a trade agreement even. 900. That's kind of a lot of money, guys. Let's see here. Ask for trade agreement. Offer 440. Maybe they'll be able to take that. They want me to pay them 100 money, and they will join the war against. That's actually kind of helpful. It would be good to have for if Vlad comes back to have another target, and 100 money is basically nothing. So I'm okay with that. At the same time, we have dwarves down here who are Zufbar at war with. They're only at war with von Karstein. Nobody else. Let's see if we can get them to join war against the Empire. Any luck? It says moderate. Nope. And Ostermark likes us quite a bit.
A minion of von Karstein.
Still don't want to give us military access, though. It's very interesting. They're deteriorating. Why is it deteriorating? I guess my great power level increased. That's a very small gift, a very small price to pay for friends, and hopefully, does Essen have walls or anything? No. What has Ostermark been doing this whole time? Because I'm pretty sure the dwarves are going to go in and just smack him there. So we'll continue building up our force here. We don't have a huge amount of funds this turn, so I think we may just start the corpse cart this turn, because it takes 2 turns. And is there anything else that we need? I think we can. Well, you could use some bats later, but we'll leave that for the next turn's recruitment, I think. Yeah, because I don't want to tank my income. I don't want to start recruiting the expensive units until we're ready to really push out, which is going to be another turn or 2. And we'll be picking some new war targets. I think we'll be trying to head down south. I I like going through the Water Princes. They have this nice protection to the north, so that if we're fighting dwarves, they have to go across all these mountains. These are mountains that are even difficult for the dwarves to cross. And if we get attacked from the north by Chaos or the Empire or something, then we can retreat back here. So we have sort of, you split your territory, but it gives you a fallback point, which I like. I like the idea of doing that. I think that's all there is. I think everybody's doing something. Oh, except for Sasha, who should really get out there and start doing her thing. And do we have more things to build here next turn? No, we do not. So we're going to stop Ricket from casting. Okay. That'll end the turn. And we will see if the Empire starts mustering forces, marshalling their men to attack us. I mean, they have heroes running around, plenty of heroes. They don't seem to be. Don't really see anything particularly threatening that they're doing, apart from wasting the Empire's money, really. As predicted, Ostermark got squished there. I wonder if they're going back to reclaim Carreg Dramar, or if that's where Vlad is. I have a feeling Vlad's army is right here, because the AI is not particularly good usually at. So Stirland is going to rebel. I'm not going to worry about that. Hero recruited a Castle Drakenhof vampire. Okay, so I know we said no vampires, but I'm okay with. I think I'm okay with heroes. I think it was mainly that we weren't gonna necessarily focus on vampires. I mean, technically we've been using Vargeists this whole time. Vargeists are actually vampires, and a whole bunch of the vampire counts, high tier units are vampires. So I don't think we're gonna focus on recruiting any of our own. But I mean, we got one here for free, so we'll roll with it. Mostly, what I wanted to try out was the Necromancer Lords. I think that's the focus here. The Necromancers are in charge, and there are also some vampires here helping them, as opposed to the normal game, where you're playing as vampires, and there are also some Necromancers here. We sort of turned that dynamic on its head. So I believe the deployment here is growth plus 20, which I like. The vampires themselves are a very strong hero unit. The plus growth is good. They spread corruption, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't say anywhere here that they spread corruption, but maybe it's in their skills or something. This is Vampire Lord of Death, so that gives us access to another school of magic, which is good. And they're also good in melee, so they just they kind of graded everything. Which is why I've been sort of intentionally focusing on the Necromancers, because they're sort of focused on being the squishy caster guys. So we have Castle Drakenhof coming up next turn for building. So unless we have something really urgent going on in Western Sylvania, I think we're just gonna leave that. How much is the upgrade for the default? Well, I guess we don't have money for that immediately, but we will probably be wanting to build an ancient armory right off the bat, unless we can go for a forbidden library if we have the money for it. So 10k minus 20%, so we need 8k. We currently have 3 and 3 is 6, so 6,500. So not enough to do that next turn when it would first become available, unless. We only have a battering ram right now. So next turn, if we don't spend any money on anything else, we can bring Helmengorst's army up here, sack Wurtbad, with our single siege tower and fairly large army. And yeah, I believe that'll be our plan. Now, let's see if we can't do something about all these heroes. Apparently not. Sasha's not been terribly successful in this game so far. So we have Heinrich here, just sort of slowly, ever so slowly building up a force. I'd like to start recruiting Graveguard, but we have buildings to build first. Now it looks like these beastmen got into a tangle with the dwarves as well. So the dwarves, I think, took Essen, or raised Essen, got into a fight with beastmen. So they're probably wounded as well. Let's check out what their strength rank is. Yeah, they dropped down from, I think they were 26 when we looked before. So we may be going back to war with the dwarves. Has enough time passed that if we do declare war, so it's another 5 turns before we can declare war with them without consequence. So I think we will immediately when that timer wears off, because I don't like Karakadrin sitting right here, looming over these peaceful, wonderful Necromancer lands. So we are going to get a rebellion in the Moot. I'm not worried about it. In fact, I'd prefer that, because I believe if there's no rebellion, then if we were to take Wurtbad or whatever, I don't think we're going to, then we would start off at the low percentage. But if the region falls to a rebellion, then we start back at 0, like we're new conquerors. So I think that's preferable. All right. As I said, we're not going to do anything about Feldorf. It'll just fall in a couple turns to some kind of rebellion, possibly a vampire rebellion. That would be good. But otherwise, I'm not particularly worried about it. And the only question is, do we want to keep recruiting with Kemmler? I know that's what we're doing, but he's just sort of sat here out of the action for quite a while now, which is not good. But at the same time, we want to upgrade those buildings. We got to upgrade those buildings. So I think that's what we're going to keep doing. I'm just wondering, is there anything that I can demolish to make a little bit more money, make this a little bit easier? No, I think things are what they are. And I wonder if Ostermark. Well, now there's no more trade agreement option. Is there anyone else anywhere who might give us a trade agreement? Haverland might.
I hear words from that unliving throat.
No, they're not particularly interested in
that. I won't.
There are others who don't much like us, so I think that's all we can do this turn. Empires run around. Oh, we got a vampire rebellion. Okay, so that's actually quite good. I'm happy it's a vampire rebellion. It means that they're going to continue boosting the corruption here. Interesting, they're not going straight in. They could definitely take the region. Karakadrin doing something complicated there. I don't know why I paused there. We didn't see any movement. Ah, there we go. And we'll let him take it. He decides to defeat their huge army of zombies, and it's a really garbage army. Critical failure, that's always good from our enemies. Another failure, the Moot was raised, so they didn't take it. Ludwig von Hall, one of our lords, is back. Wissenland is now ready to rebel. We're not even trying to keep it. Okay, so that's interesting. They instead of taking it for the rebellion, they just raised it. So that's weird, but I'm not too worried about it. So we're gonna switch Gorst into channeling stance.
Let us away, brothers.
And now there's some more dead to raise. Can we? We can raise dead directly into our main army. So we will. We will do that. Grab a zombie, a skeleton, and a spearman. Raise them on up. Okay. So, and Sasha's here. We can go ahead, hop her on in, get some combat experience. She doesn't have any combat abilities that we've given her. So it's mainly the physical resistance and such. But I think this is going to be a yes. It says it's going to be a very easy battle. We have overwhelming numbers right now, so I think we're going to go ahead and fight this and overwhelm them with our numbers. I mean, we could auto-resolve it, but I've been talking about the battle for Wurtbad and fighting over Wurtbad since I think like turn 1. I was already mentioning that this was going to be a thing. That we were gonna sack Wurtbad, raise Wurtbad, but we weren't gonna take it. So I'm gonna make good on that promise. I think this turn we will sack it and possibly follow up with a 1-2 punch from Helm and Gorst to raise it if we can. And yeah, we'll wipe the Empire out of the eastern half of the map, which will make me quite happy. Be happy. I'll be happy as happy as our Necromancer here. 11. Well, we have to get up the walls anyway, so we'll just start the 11 like that. No reason to risk it. Our reinforcements coming out right behind us, which is what we'd like to see. So, I think. Okay, I don't think we want you guys on the battering ram. That's a little bit silly. So, definitely the zombies are going to be sent in as cannon fodder to just tie them up on the walls. So we'll go ahead and do that. I think putting the grave guard in the towers is the best use of them because we would like to keep which tower is occupied? That one, because we'd like to keep the grave guard from being damaged before they get onto the walls. Because we will be trying to actually take and hold the walls this time. Vargeists are a very precious unit. We only have three Vargeists right now. We're gonna get this guy up in the front, and who will be taking? Let's put the Konigstein Stalkers on the battering ram. Okay, so that's a good lineup there. So these guys are on the right, these guys are on the left, so that is actually representative of where they are. And okay, so the Konigstein Stalkers are going to be on the ground though, so we're going to have some ground forces, which I think are going to include the Spearmen. We're not going to have large units up on the walls because we're not against vampire counts. And the rest of these fellas, we'll just sort of try to divide them up evenly with some poison up the middle, and yeah, just I don't know, make some sort of symmetric layout here for the walls. So these guys over here, these guys back here, and these guys up here. And all these fellows are gonna, so 3 goes up on the walls via the towers, 2 attacks the gatehouse, and 1 is just gonna basically be running interference over here. So we'll put the Vargeists on 4 and all the rest of our special units on 0, so we don't lose track of them. And we're going to keep these guys away. Try to keep them away from the fighting. We're going to put them all the way in the corner and try to get them out of line of sight of that tower as soon as we can. We're going to go ahead and select everybody. How is everybody laid out? Oh, we haven't ranged 2 in any sort of sensible way. Let's put them up front. Except for the spearmen, which we don't want to get shot at because they don't have shields and they're not expendable. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. So yeah, go ahead and start the battle. Up here, you just walk on up. Corpse cart similarly, just stand around near where the fighting is going to be happening. These fellas stand here. These fellas stand up here. These fellas are already headed over this way. Oh, that's exactly where I didn't want you to go. Standing right in front of the tower. But the tower's not manned, so that's okay. And then all these zombies are indeed holding up their forces on the walls over here. Okay, and then all the rest of you go in after. So the battle ram is not really taking damage. This tower is not being fired upon. This tower was being fired upon, but it has since been taken care of. Alright, and now we have Gorst's army, which we'll just group them up on anything, I guess 5, and then we'll send them in here. They're mostly slow units, so I don't know if they're going to get there in time to actually do anything. Okay, now, I want to get the Crypt Ghouls up here fast as we can. Because we would like to get that poison damage into those troops. We'll get the corpse cart just sat at the base of that fight there. Send up another unit of skeletons. That's up there. Sasha can help with the wall. And yes, as expected, zombies are just sort of holding things up. Things are overall going pretty well. We can get these skeletons up on the walls. These skeletons get up on the walls, and as you can see, the corpse cart here is in range. This is very important to show. The corpse guard has to be in range of the units on the walls to make any difference. I don't really see anywhere where we're taking much damage. Yeah, it's mostly seems pretty good to us right now. We've gotten the walls open, so we can send Unit 2 in through the walls. Maybe send Helmut Gorst in here. Maybe. Gorst's group is here, so we can get him in through the walls, through the gate. Or hang on, guys, just form up right here, maybe. Okay, so these units over here. Okay, so number 2, we're gonna have you form up over here, hold up this approach. Or actually, maybe over here is better. Just sort of hold over here. 5 is still forming up. Get these guys over here. He's in range of his own spell. Slap that down. Alright, these folks, I think we're just going to have them climb the walls again, get into the backs. Okay, so those guys are now going in through the gates like we don't want them to. We can get the bar guys actually to go up here. It doesn't look like they have anything in the middle here. We can send these zombies in to scout. But I think we may have this all sealed up. It's maybe even easier than I was anticipating. And interesting, just having those VAR guys fly over there, fear seems to have scared away most of those units there. It's interesting, you can't target units on the walls for your spells, but you can target next to the wall. And it does seem to affect them, so yeah, it's definitely, they definitely have the regeneration ability on them. Okay, so we're gonna get the corpse cart moving around the wall now. We're just gonna send Helmengorst's army into the middle there. We now have some vision here, and it seems to be their lord, who is sword infantry of some kind. Are these great swords? These appear to be great swords. Okay, so the great swords are, or no, they're standard swordsmen. Okay, I thought I saw some great swords in here in this garrison, but I haven't actually seen them in the battle. So it's just swordsmen. There's nothing really frightening here at all. Well, apart from us, apart from all the zombies, there's nothing scary here at all. Okay. So we're gonna send all these fellas in here, except for 1 or 2 units that are just chasing fellas down. 2, I think I'm gonna keep up here, and our main force will send in here, along with Gustav, for good measure. Get our Vargas in here, but as you can see, it's already a done deal as the enemy routes off the field. So yeah, it's a pretty straightforward battle, I think. There may be some undead here. I really wish the camera didn't try to go over buildings. I know they obstruct stuff, but I wish the camera bounced sideways off them, like like in a racing game, as opposed to trying to climb up over them. But yeah, so decisive victory, and I have to agree with the game on that one. That was quite decisive. It was a bit of a foregone conclusion. We actually killed more than them, despite the fact we have garbage tier units in most of our army, except for the Grave Guard, who I have to admit were sort of pivotal here. Well, pivotal in a fight that we would have won anyway, even if they weren't here. So make it that way you will, but they did definitely do some work in that battle. I don't think Sasha got no kills, which is sad. Just stood outside, but there wasn't any desperate need. Alright, there's some money, and that is a sack. Oh my goodness, that is... Oh, that unlocks the Stirlandsmen for us, which are Grave Guard with regeneration. And Barracks Reavers. Okay, so we're going to switch to raiding now, just to keep ourselves from falling apart. And if we send Gorst in, do Regulus Dance. So we can't raise this turn apparently. We can occupy or loot and occupy. I very specifically said that I was not going to occupy Wurtbad, and then here we are. So I'm just going to do nothing. And next turn, Helmingorst will go in and wreck up the place. But this turn we did. Gustav did level up. We're gonna put another point into Lord of the Scourge, unless is there anything up here? Is Grave Ward? Yeah, that's not really necessary right now. I would like to, after this, go back down the red skill tree. This is a red themed skill. Helps out my units in general. I guess it's a sort of mix of red and blue because it has casualty replenishment rate and reduced attrition and increased leadership. The increased leadership is really what I'm doing this for, though. That's the main thing that I'm interested in. Okay. And there's a hero there who we don't really need to do anything about. And now we have plenty of money. Well, plenty. We're gonna spend it all. Possibly this turn. Yes, so we're going to start on our Forbidden Library, which will give us, I mean, we already have a Necromancer, so that's not going to help us at all, but it will give us quite a bit of income, research rate, unit experience, +1 for infantry unit recruits in this region. So that's helpful, and +1 Necromancer hero capacity. It also unlocks some unit recruits from the Defiled Cairn, which I'm now realizing we also need to get the actually, do we need to? I have to browse the building tree here. Remember what we actually need. So we're going for the Lodestone of Darkness, and the Hex Wraiths. Yeah, the Hex Wraiths require the Reliquary. So that's going to need to go in our capital. We could start building the Ancient Armory next turn if we. How much money does it cost? The Ancient Armory is 3,200. Is that with or without the buff? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's taking into account our campaign benefits here. Let's just go next door. Okay, so Reliquary says 6,000 here. What does it say on this side of the border? It says Reliquary is 4,800. So it is taking that into account. So it is actually 3,200 that we need. We'd need next turn. We would get some money back if we destroyed the gibbet here. It's a shame to lose the money, but I guess we will make more back with the Forbidden Library. So that's all right. So I guess we'll take out our gibbet and we'll start building an armory here. Yeah, I like. It'd be nice if you could totally focus one region on one thing or another, but to sort of optimize things completely, you need to sort of bounce back and forth here. Okay, so we have 2,700 coming in this turn. We need 3,200 to build the armory, so we're going to need to leave behind 500 some odd. 500 some odd for next turn. We do have a corpse cart with us here now, which is nice. But now we can start recruiting better units. So we're going to need a couple of Cryptools, a couple more Skeletons. I don't know if we're going to go for any Vargeists in this army. But you know what? We'll go for 2 units of Vargeists. They've been pretty solid so far. Or are we going to go for cavalry? You know what? No, we're gonna go for. This is gonna be a skeleton army. We've been putting all these points into buffing up skeletons, and I'd really like to get a nice, mid-tier but solid level, good experience army for Heinrich Kemmler to go do something impressive next turn, or next episode. So we left behind 2,800, which is sufficient, and I guess we could put in the gallows. That leaves 400, which would screw us over for next turn. So let's not do that. And I think that's everything. Fildorf we're going to lose next turn. The boot has fallen, but I believe Vampiric Corruption is still rising. So So I think we'll wait for it to get up maybe 45% before we try conquering that again. Grinstadt, what is the vampire corruption over here? It's only at 30% now. I'm not sure what Averland's plans are. I hope they're not going to think of attacking me. The Empire's right here. Nolan has quite a good garrison in it, but all this is all destroyed, so they'll have to reclaim stuff on their way in. So we're going to go ahead and end turn 52. There's a Wissenland rebellion, which I'm not too worried about. They're very far away. Didn't really want that region. I just didn't want the Empire to have it. Carrick-Drin returning to lick its wounds. I think they may have taken care of that Beastman army there as well. I don't see them. They may have gone hidden. No, it looks like they're still around. Yeah, so this is not in our favor at all. We'll let Wissenland have a region back. I have to say, one of my favorite changes since the release of the game is that the rebellions are for the original occupying regions. I believe at launch they were not. They were just random rebellions that would just raise the place or make some sort of weird new faction. I like that, even if a faction gets wiped off the map, they might come back if you mismanage things badly enough, which I guess we've sort of intentionally done here. Okay, so now if you look at the sort of zoomed out view here, we have this nice buffer area where Averland's in the middle. We're gonna have Wurtbad destroyed momentarily here. Go to normal stance. Oh my god, do we really need to build up siege equipment again? Okay. Well, we'll do that.
Give them death!
It'll just be one turn. So Sasha did gain a level from that experience, which is nice. So is there anything in the second tier that we really need here? Propagandist, vampire corruption increase, that's quite useful. Income from buildings, despoiler, harassment. Inspector is the only one I think that makes any sense. Yeah, attrition minus 3% when under siege. This never comes up. So we'll go with Inspector. Then, yeah. So we're going fully down the blue tree, I think, first. Is there anything for Sasha to try to assassinate this turn? I mean, I guess we could hit Averland, but I don't really want to do that. We'll send her out towards the Empire, just keep things scouted out for us. Don't see anything. This is sort of troubling. Is the Empire at war with somebody else? Averland is at war with them. That's helpful. Very helpful. They're at war with the Beastmen, so maybe there's some sort of Beastman thing happening over there. I don't know. I don't see any. I mean, is there Chaos Corrupted? Oh, it's a 10% Chaos Corruption, so there could be Beastmen in there giving them a hard time, which I'm totally okay with. So, yeah, my only fear is that... Okay, so I have two armies here that are sort of mid-tier. If I'm going to be going through and resettling areas, then I'll be using them, and Heinrich's army will be our nice high-tier settlement. Now, Castle Drakenhof, we were going to, this turn, start putting in our ancient armory. We don't quite have enough left over for the binding circle, though. And that's Cairn Wraiths just require the ancient armory. The Hex Wraiths require the reliquary. So I think actually, how many turns is this in total? Building browser things. So 4 turns and 5 turns is 9 turns. 4 turns, and 5 turns is 9 turns as well. So I think actually the optimal thing to do is to build the Binding Circle and then the Lodestone of Darkness before we do these, because we'll get access to some units early that don't actually require the reliquary. We'll be no matter what we do, the Hex Wraiths are still same number of turns, or still 9 turns out, or I think 10 turns if we do this. So instead of this, we will do this. And next turn, we can start up the Ancient Armory. Okay. Unfortunately, that once again means that Heinrich is sort of sat around doing nothing, not recruiting, not helping out really. So I wonder if it's worth trying to take out the moot or resettle the moot. That's additional money again. There's never enough money. I can always use more cash.
Deliver your missive and then get from my presence.
They do not want a peace treaty with us at all. They dislike us quite a lot. Quite a lot. Relations with the dwarves are improving. Ostermark, how's Ostermark doing? Ostermark was not doing too hot last time we talked to him.
Greetings on behalf of the Empire. Now what brings you here
still
with a
at war with
sheathed blade?
Kerkudrin, so hopefully keeping them distracted. It's a shame that we have nothing to do with Kemla though. We have this nice army building up, and no targets for it just yet. I think we may just put him into Fort Oberstyre because we haven't had time to put his walls up yet. Yeah, we would like to. We're at the correct level. We just need money to put in those that gatehouse there. But with the Empire not threatening us immediately, that becomes less urgent. We're gonna keep Rickert here for another turn. Hildegard is helping out Castle Tempelhof, building up the. In fact, we might want to. Hildegard's going to be sticking around home quite a bit. We might just snag the Black Cat from Helman Gorst to help build up public order while she's here, giving us a nice chunk of growth. Yeah, because we do need some growth here to help push Castle Tempelhof up to the tippity toppest of tiers. Yeah. And with that, we'll go ahead and end the turn. And here come more Empire units to try to muck stuff up. I really like to know where Vlad is, what he's doing. Seems like they took out somebody, but it wasn't one of mine. Was not one of mine. Zufbar was doing something that may have been taking out Vlad. We shall see. Damage building failure, and Von Karstein has been destroyed. Okay, so that's what Zufbar was up to. That's why I paused there. And they did resettle character Amar. So that's good. That can only help our economy. Although our trade's down to 227 because we can no longer trade with Ostermark, which is sad.
Yes.
Okay, and we don't have enough money this turn. But hopefully we'll just auto-resolve this. We've already seen this battle once. $167, is that enough? That gives us... Yes, we have 3,200. That's exactly what we needed. So that's enough. We can just raise this place to the ground. We got a Power Stone, which is nice. Nice caster item, which increases power reserves. Mortal Informer. Magic item drop chance plus 4%. The Screaming Banner. That's good. Plus 4 leadership for allies in a range. That's quite a good banner. Sort of wasted on Gorst, who's not being built up along that direction. But he's stuck here. We can send Gustav back down. Is there any reason to... Okay, we can force march him back into Western Sylvania. Start regenning. We have 3,200, so unless I miscalculated there, we can start building the Ancient Armory. So all the buildings in Castle Drakenhof are now that we need are now on their way up. I did notice at the start of the turn that we just have to pop in the Mausoleum, and then we get the Black Knights and Black Knights with Lances and Barding, which is what I kind of want to put in Heinrich's army, which is being sort of sat around doing nothing for a long time. But I hope next episode to rectify that. Heinrich will venture out, and he will destroy things. So I think my plan right now is to send Heinrich south towards the border princes, and the rest of our armies can just sort of hold here. The Empire is nice and far away. Sending armies across all this land past Averland, who's going to act as a buffer, is not something I am concerned about. Wissenland, I might take out Wissenland again. We will see. But yeah, I think we're in a good place this turn. We've done not a huge amount of fighting, but infrastructure-wise, we're going to have a lot more interesting units in the next few turns to play around with. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed playing it. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Give the video a like if you liked it, or dislike if you didn't. But if you do give a dislike, please let me know what I could have done better. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you around here next time.